Today our What's This Food series about cured meats continues. Today we're going to be looking at guanciale. Today's sponsor and our sponsor for this series is La Quercia. You can check them out online at laquercia.us. La Quercia produces a number of different types of cured meats. So far we've covered their prosciutto, their speck. Today we're going to be taking a look at their guanciale, and basically their deal is that everything is very, very high in quality. They put a huge amount of care into how they source their meats, how they handle their meats, how they age their meats, and the final product. I've been nothing but delighted with all of the products that we've had from them so far, and I was super pleased with the guanciale. I think you will be too. Check them out online at laquercia.us and get your hands on some of their delicious cured meats today. So today we're talking about guanciale, and isn't that really fun to say? Guanciale is a type of Italian unsmoked cured bacon. It's made from the jowls, which is like the cheeks of the pig. It gets packed with some salt, some spices, and it kind of gets to marinate and cure for about 3 to 5 weeks, and then it is dried in the open air. The name is derived from the word guancia, which is the Italian word for cheeks, and generally the cheeks are considered to be one of the best cuts of meat on a lot of animals. You can get fish cheeks, and it's considered to also be a delicacy. When you go to get your guanciale, it might have the lymph nodes intact or removed. That alters the flavor slightly. Some people like it, some people don't. La Quercia removes their lymph nodes, but there are other brands that leave them on. The texture of guanciale is very delicate. The fat is very savory, and it's actually one of the most savory pieces of fat that you would have because there's just a great amount of fat that's very rich in the cheeks. In fact, you might find that it's more luscious and porky than any other type of uncured bacon. In addition to the fat, there's also a good amount of collagen inside of the cheek itself, which when cooked renders out into this sort of silky texture that gets infused into any sauce that it comes in contact with, thus producing a very smooth, very silky texture in your final product. And as I said, it's mostly something that you cook with. You don't really eat guanciale raw. Usually you'll take bits of it and you'll render out the fat, which leaves these little crisp morsels, kind of like lardons, and a nice brothy base of fat that you can cook with. Today we're going to make one of the most classic dishes that uses guanciale, spaghetti alla carbonara, which is a spaghetti dish that uses a sauce of the fat from the guanciale as well as some eggs. When making this dish, you can basically do all of the prep work in the time that it takes to cook your pasta. So, first boil a pot of water, then add salt and cook a ½ pound of spaghetti. While it's heating up, dice up about ¼ pound of guanciale and add it to a heavy bottom skillet on medium to let the fat render out, along with 1 garlic clove. Meanwhile, crack 2 small or 1 large egg into a bowl and beat until frothy. And in a separate bowl, grate a ½ cup of Parmesan cheese. When the pasta's done, drain and add your pasta to your egg mixture and quickly toss it so there's no more liquid at the bottom of the bowl. You're essentially cooking the egg with the heat of the pasta. Now add your guanciale, a splash of the rendered out fat, your Parmesan, and toss it all together. I also tossed in some basil because I had it on hand and it was beautiful and fresh, and it actually added a great flavor, though it's not traditional. Then you'll put in some salt and pepper, make sure it tastes beautiful, and enjoy. Today I made a version of carbonara and I added blueberries to it, which sounds a little bit abstract, but they're tart and sweet, and they kind of play nicely against the savory pasta sauce that's formed with the egg and the guanciale fat. Tune in tomorrow for another What's This Food. Check out our sponsor, laquercia.us. If you have something you want me to cover, you can post it in the comments below. You can stumble our page by going to stumbleupon.com, and you can always shoot me an email letting me know if you tried any of the recipes or if you have something you want me to cover. hello@danieldelaney.com. I will see you tomorrow.